John Coleman, you promised a response, you asked your team for a response, you got that tonight.
I got that with the result. Wasn't overly happy with the performance. I'm never going to sugarcoat things, you know. You've been speaking to me for the last 2 or 3 months, and you know, I'll just say it as it is. Didn't start the game well, started on the back foot. They could have scored 2 in the first 10 minutes. Give up too many chances in the first half, and it became like a game of basketball. We were making chances ourselves. When you see back the non-penalty when he's about 3 yards onside, but that's football for you, know. I'm not going to start complaining now. And so it was in danger of being a toss of a coin. And you know, Stevie did well tonight, but you know, I had a chat to Brad at half time, and I said, you know, this is how cruel football is. We could have easily conceded 4 goals tonight, like we did last week in the first half, and no one could have complained about that because they had the chances to do it. Now, unfortunately for them, unfortunately for us, they didn't take them. Having said that, we could have scored some ourselves. Second half, I thought we were better. We tightened up. I think Stevie only really made 1 save in the second half. But we were still guilty of giving the ball away cheaply in their half and letting them counter on us. I know that they've gone a bit gung-ho and they've put more forwards on, which changes your shape, and then you've just got to be patient, keep the ball for 2 or 3 passes, and you're going to get out. But I'm delighted for the fans tonight because it was important we paid them back with a win. Give them some pride back, you know, after, you know, we were humiliated last week. So give them some pride back. And I know how important the Derby game is, you know, the Munster Derby. I go back to my Accrington days. So when myself and Jimmy Bob, when we first came into Accrington managing, there was no Accrington shirts around the town. By the time we left, kids had them everywhere, you know, and that's what I'd like to see here. You know, I'd like to see the youth, the young kids really getting behind and enjoying coming to the game, wearing the shirt with pride. And that's hopefully by the time I leave here, which hopefully will be in plenty of years' time, that we have that situation, you know, where fans are proud of the football club. Now, the lads showed today that they cared about the football club. The effort that they put in was magnificent. Possibly a little bit misguided and a bit loose with our possession. But tonight was all about trying to win the game. Local derby, crucial in the table as well. And we've got to get our heads down and realise that, you know, we've played better than that and lost. Played better than that, miles better against Shamrock Rovers here and lost 3-1. Played miles better against Drogheda and drew 2-2. So you've got to accept that. We've got to tighten up our defence. We know that. You know, we're trying to get signings in. It's not easy, but you know, we won't just sign people for the sake of signing them. But it's important that we get the right players in, and we add to this squad of lads who I know can be good and will definitely work the socks off. So overall, I'm pleased about it, but I'm not getting carried away with it because I didn't think the performance was as good as what we can play and what the players' standards that they've raised the bar to. So that's something that we'll address.
Stephen McMullen was recalled, and I think he gave probably one of his most confident displays this week.
Yeah, he did really well. You know, and Brad's been unlucky because he's waited a long time for his chance, and then we were abject last week. So you know, it's not his fault, but you know, we just felt that confidence-wise, it might be the best decision to make, and it wasn't an easy one. But you've got to go with your gut feel. And yeah, he did do well tonight. He made a couple of really good saves. And you know, we have a bit of a laugh and a joke about it's your job as a goalkeeper to make saves, and when they make great saves, you know, they get applauded for it, but that's what the job is, you know. And sometimes they can see goals and they can do nothing about them, but the big moments in games, goalkeepers can win you games, and Stevie stepped up to the plate tonight.
And finally, the crowd played their part as well.
Fantastic tonight, you know, and you could easily have turned on us after last week. No one would blame them, but true supporters don't, and we've got true supporters here, and hopefully we can get more and more numbers, and as I said, we can see more and more shirts around the town.